Hi everyone, Lewis here, and today I'm going to bring you guys a video talking about some more DayZ controversial kind of news. I talked about something controversial in the DayZ Spectrum a few months ago, which was Rocket announcing that he'd be leaving the project at the end of the year, and with E3 just passing a few days ago, for some more interesting news, and it has positives and negatives on DayZ as a whole, but I'd say I'm pretty happy with it. So the news is basically that Rocket said in an interview that they are going to be moving DayZ onto a new engine. And that was a bit weirdly worded because it's not really a new engine. It's more a combination of existing stuff we have in-house and making it so it's less shit. People who are big fans of a game kind of get blinded sometimes by the whole DayZ Standalone thing. It's alpha, blah blah blah. Things are going to be changed later in the game, but if you've knew the engine for a long time, you know certain things just aren't possible and never will be possible in DayZ Standalone right now with its current engine. Things like zombie hordes, or just a lot of zombies as a whole, dark environments, underground environments, and also the game just not running like shit. Some people just assume because it's early alpha, these are things which are going to come later, and with the current engine, that is not the case. That's just how things are right now, which of course has a lot to do with the introduction of this new engine, since it pretty much solves all of those issues which are already existing. I mean, you could say they're not necessary to make a zombie apocalypse game, but in my opinion, I'd say all of those are pretty important to provide an appropriate atmosphere for a zombie apocalypse. You know, zombies should be, there should be a lot of them, and it should be an actual threat, which they aren't right now because the engine kind of can't deal with a shit ton of them, and they walk through walls, and there also should be dark indoor environments, caves, etc, which also just can't do right now. I'm guessing a lot of you guys didn't even know that news, and it is pretty big, which is why I'm making this video, but of course, also, if you do even know about it, then I'll be sharing my opinions on it a bit as well. The name of the engine is Enfusion, and it's called Enfusion for a reason, because like I mentioned, it's not a brand new engine, it's not like it's going to take years to develop. It's going to be something which you're going to notice through the next few months, and they're just going to be taking things from other engines in Bohemia that do make games of an armor, like Carrier Command, stuff like that, and putting those in the game. So things like lighting which doesn't suck balls, zombies which don't suck balls, and also hopefully a game which doesn't run like balls. Balls. Also, they're going to be pushing it out soon, so the servers are actually 64-bit, which gets rid of some more limitations like RAM, CPU threading. You know, I'm not a game programmer, but you get the point. There's a lot of changes up and coming, and it explains why the progress of Standalone's been really so slow, even though they've got a big team. A few months ago, I think I had a team of 100, and Rocket confirmed in his interview that we've now got about 160 staff working on the game in various different manners, which means that, I guess, once this is all done, things should move a bit faster. If you look back at E3 footage from 2013, which of course E3 2014 just happened, then you can see the game looks pretty goddamn similar. Really, change hasn't been that much. There's been a lot of UI changes, a lot of new cosmetics, a lot of new weapons, but really there hasn't been anything which has blown off anyone's socks. It's not like all of a sudden vehicles have came out and people have been like, shit, vehicles, they're great. But still, you know, there's been updates, but it explains really why there hasn't been as updates as there could have been. Rocket, over the past few months as well, in fact even when Standalone wasn't out, always talked about how really Rocket's vision can only be produced on this engine, which is a bit weird, and it doesn't really make too much sense that we're now making this move. Maybe there were limitations which we didn't realise at the start of the project, but basically the engine sucks balls in many, many ways, especially for a game like this. Everyone wants smooth FPS, everyone wants all these cool features that I see on the subreddit all the time, like, Rocket, add sewers. You know, sewers aren't going to happen because underground things just don't work in the engine, and also, you can't get a dark environment. That's why there's no dark indoor environments. Like, you can see right here, actually, in this footage, that place is light as shit inside because you can't do lighting, it just doesn't work. And a lot of people who are unexperienced with the game will assume that playing the game 640 by 480 on lowest graphics will increase your FPS dramatically from playing at 1920 by 1080 maxed out. It's not really the case, and hopefully, like I mentioned, that should be a thing which will be fixed with this massive update. I mean, I think if it was a small engine update, Rocket would say whatever, but the thing is, he's actually saying it's a new engine, so that's a kind of big deal. As you'll well know, or maybe you don't, but Standalone sold over 1 million copies now. In fact, it might even sold 2 million now. I honestly don't know. I haven't been counting it, but I know it's somewhere in 1.5 million, something like that. And it's cool to see they are actually investing in its future. It's not like they're just building this decent game, which I guess works in its current state. It's fun, although it is a deathmatch in Svet and Northeast, as you'll see in the footage. Although it's still a fun deathmatch, and I think eventually with vehicles and all of those things I just mentioned being fixed, it could end up being a really great game. A game which really I wasn't expecting. I was always doubting the team because I thought the engine sucked, but I'm actually really happy with this news. It is going to mean things are going to be slow in the upcoming months, but it eventually means the game will be good, or at least I think it will be. Standalone will always be a separate game to other games in the genre like H1Z1. It's just not the same game, and I like what it does. It's a more hardcore version of zombie survival, and there will be some competitors which come along, but so far nothing has came close to what it delivers really. H1Z1 is the closest to that, but let's be honest, it's nothing like DayZ. And I've also got no idea how the hell that guy managed to kill me, but he did. That's the weird thing about the game. And with the low performance with servers, a lot of desync, trade kills, blah blah blah. I don't know how it's going to end up in the future, but at least it's fun in its current state. And the future only holds bright things in it, because 160 people working on this one game, that's a lot of people. I mean, I'm sure there's some AAA titles with more, but it's a good amount. Rocket did also mention in the interview a few other things. Of course, the main news was, holy shit, new engine. But of course, drugs and shit like that is still planned for the game. I think I've said shit and balls way too much in this video, by the way. It's not a good combo, definitely. But as a whole, it's looking pretty good. I really don't see any issues with what's going on. A lot of people were a bit butthurt that it was like, but Rocket, you said the engine was really good, and now you're changing it. But of course, I think it was just badly worded, because it's not actually a new engine. It's just a combination, a blend of current existing engines, and getting rid of all the shit which you don't need. Going out the engine and just redoing stuff. It's good. Along with a promise of drugs still coming in the future, of course, we still do have the barricading, the vehicles, and a bunch of stuff which I'm hoping will come in a decent amount of time. I don't know what we're going to expect to see in 6 months' time, you know, at the end of the year. Is all this stuff going to be in? Is there going to be vehicles? I hope to God there is. In fact, we still do have a promise of the vehicles in Q3 of the year, which is, well, actually it's right now. So vehicles should be coming soon. And a bunch of other stuff. But anyway, I just want to make this shortish video to tell you guys that, in case you're wondering. I'll leave a link to a bunch of useful, informative stuff in the description below, if you do want to go look at the full interview. And also, if you guys want to leave what you think about it, feel free to in the comment section below, and I'll tell you that you're really smart, or alternatively, I could do the opposite. Oh, I don't want to do that. Please, just say nice things, please. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Like I said, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all good stuff. And also, actually, DayZ videos. What the fuck's going on with DayZ videos? Maybe you guys are interested in DayZ, but just a show of hands quickly. How many people actually care about DayZ videos? There seems to be a lot of YouTubers which have came out or became popular because of Standalone, and they didn't have a channel before Standalone. But I honestly just feel that most of you guys don't care for Standalone videos right now. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, also tell me something about that. If you do care about them, then maybe it's something I can look into. But I just honestly, with all the issues right now, zombies running through walls, which is something which will be fixed soon, by the way, it's a bit shit. But it is also still fun. Don't know how it can be shit and fun, but still, I'm saying those words over and over again. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Fuck you, zombie.